Since 1965, more than 200,000 people have honed their skills with NOLS, the National Outdoor Leadership School. Now, Paul Petzold, one of America's most accomplished mountaineers, founded the school, and it's considered a life-changing experience for nearly everyone who takes part in one of its courses. But today we've got BrucePalmer here, and we're going to talk a little bit about NOLS, but my first question really is how it's different from other outdoor courses out there.
Well, essentially, you know, what we do at NOLS is we take people out on extended backcountry expeditions. We teach outdoor skills, and that runs the full gamut. It could be mountaineering, sea kayaking, whitewater rafting, kayaking, pretty much anything you can imagine in the outdoors, we teach that skill. We help students develop their leadership by putting them in real leadership roles that have responsibility and consequence. And we teach about the environments that we're traveling in. So the basic idea would be that when you get done with a NOLS course, you have the experience and background to be able to take other people out into the backcountry and do that in a comfortable and responsible way. And you know what we found over the years is, you know, roughly about 40% of our grads actually end up professionally leading in the backcountry. It could be in outdoor education, it could be guiding, it could be, you know, just summertime work, camp counselor for expedition programs, things along those lines. Yeah, but the remainder, I've never met a NOLS grad who doesn't take people outdoors, and that's pretty exciting to me. You know, they might be taking friends, family, they're really active with the college outing program at their school, you know, what have you. So, so we're about skills, leadership, and the environment, and that's really the focus.
Nice.
And you're a graduate, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So do you take people outdoors?
Yes, I absolutely do. I'm a three-time NOLS grad. I've done 2 of our winter ski courses and then an Alaska mountaineering course. And my son is also a NOLS grad. He did one of our Wind River Wilderness courses when he was 17 years old. And it's made a huge difference in his life. I mean, he's now, he's in his 4th year. I don't say senior. Right. He's in his 4th year at the University of Wyoming. And he's studying rangeland management, wildlife habitat ecology. And so every summer his job has been outdoors. He's a camper. Yeah. He's got the skills down. He's passionate about wildlife, and so he's pursuing that. So it's pretty exciting when you see that sort of.
Why did you initially get involved?
Well, you know, I came to NOLS back in 1990, and I'd been working, you know, essentially my career in education started when I was 5 years old when I hit kindergarten. And I've always worked in education ever since then. But I'd been working in college admissions prior to coming to NOLS. I'd spent about a decade at a couple different universities. And so I knew how to do admissions work. NOLS was advertising, looking for somebody to run the admission office. I'd always been passionate about the outdoors, so it was kind of that perfect opportunity to take, you know, what you know how to do vocationally, combine it with what you're really interested in avocationally, and put it together and make a career out of it.
So NOLS has programs all over the world. Yes. Are there any specific locations that are really interesting?
Well, you know, we operate worldwide, and I think for a lot of our students, the international programs are a real draw. Places like New Zealand or Brazil. And this year, for the first year, we're heading back to Africa. We'd actually, after 2001, after 9/11, we'd left Africa, closed our Kenya program down, but we're going to be back in Tanzania.
So specifically East Africa.
East Africa. So those are some of the exotic locales, but you know, you shouldn't overlook places like Alaska or Wyoming, which are just incredible places. And I think, you know, oftentimes when I'm traveling and I see folks from the East Coast, you're trying to explain, you know, big country. And I still don't, you know, folks don't really fully understand it or really appreciate it till they've actually been there and seen what it's like to just have, you know, big, open expanses of wilderness.
That's right. Well, I think we have a clip that sort of illustrates what you're talking about.
Yeah, I think we do.
Founded in Lander, Wyoming in 1965 by legendary mountaineer Paul Petzold, the nonprofit National Outdoor Leadership School teaches outdoor skills, conservation techniques, leadership, and wilderness medicine to over 10,000 people each year. Over the decades, our students and staff have become intensely passionate about our educational mission and the wild places that underpin our success. Today, over 700 instructors teach 110 course types on 6 continents in 15 countries and 39 U.S. states. Wild places teach lasting lessons, provide real consequences, and recharge our souls.
Wilderness experience is the key to what NOLS teaches. The core of wilderness living skills, recreational skills, leadership are the essence of what NOLS does.
You can learn about the wilderness, but you can also learn from the wilderness. Growth and reflection and personal challenge aren't really the lessons that we aim to teach on NOLS courses. They are very much a side effect of being out there for an extended period of time, and you couldn't do that without the wilderness.
There's a tremendous connection between the outdoors and the human spirit. And NOLS gives us a chance to experience that.
Wilderness helped to know yourself better, I think. Wilderness is just part of who we are.
NOLS links students to the land through a lot of angles. We certainly talk about land management, about public lands. We reinforce to the students that the public lands are their lands. We also link people to the land physically, whether it's hiking over things, climbing through rocks, paddling down a river, feeling the spray, and those physical direct connections are clearly a powerful connection to land.
Our focus is our students, their success, growth, safety, and lifelong connection with NOLS is our primary goal.
There's a humility combined with an empowerment that students get out of NOLS. NOLS allows students to practice being in this environment where they're operating and shooting for real challenges with real responsibility, but they're still in this environment where they're constantly being reminded that they're not the biggest thing in the world and that there's something greater than they are.
Those are timeless principles. They really are, and they're metaphors for life.
People really have life-changing moments on their NOLS courses where they realize what impact they want to have on the world. They've been practicing simplicity. They've been practicing being effective in a group. And that practice instills those things inside of them in a profound way that people don't lose.
It's a connection that they can carry with them into the future. There's a humbling experience, there's a truthfulness that gives you a sense of who you are. You come out of that with confidence to move forward and do what you really want to do in life.
I think the big difference from 1965 is that we reach a lot more people. Those people keep telling more people and we keep getting more students. Something that's different is the work NOLS Professional Training does and starting to work courses with audiences that we didn't have before. We're creating more partnerships and more opportunities for a broader array of people.
Some of the best things you learn on a NOLS course is how to communicate with each other, how to take care of each other, how to think about what's best for the greater good of the group instead of what's best for yourself. You have to do that to be able to get the whole group through an expedition. If everyone took a NOLS course, I think this world would be a better place, you know, and I bet a lot of people that have gone through NOLS will say the same thing.
I saw a guy in a spacesuit. Does that mean you guys go to the moon?
You know, that's on our list of places to go, but
let me know when,
actually.
I'm the first one to sign up.
We haven't actually been there yet, but one of the things that's really surprising about NOLS that lots of folks don't realize is the amount of training we do with intact groups. And so through NOLS Professional Training, which is mentioned on the video, we've had a contract with NASA since 1999. Over half of NASA astronauts have done a 12-day wilderness expedition that we built specifically for them, and it focuses in on what we characterize as expedition behavior, essentially the teamwork elements of leadership, and then the leadership element, obviously, as well. You know, and among individuals that have taken NOLS courses, a lot of entrepreneurs, and I always find that kind of interesting. You know, Tom Scott, who founded Nantucket Nectars as a NOLS graduate, Peter Roy, who's one of the founding people at Whole Foods Markets, is a NOLS grad. Mark Randolph, who's one of the founders of Netflix, a NOLS grad. And so when you talk to him, well, how does that work? You know, what's the connection with NOLS? And I think it really is about, you know, it's the expedition. You know, finding a goal, commanding all the resources, pulling it all together, using the resources in the best way as possible, being a team, and making that goal happen. And, you know, expeditioning, it works in life, works in the backcountry, works everywhere.
So are you saying if I take your course, I'm going to be a millionaire like all these guys?
Yeah.
Because if that's true, I'm in.
Well, I won't guarantee that, but,
Okay,
but I
fair.
will guarantee that it will be a life-changing experience, and you will be so happy and proud that you had done it.
Lovely. All right, well, thank you so much for being with us here today.
All right, thank you.
Still to come, we're tackling an experience of a slightly different tack, mastering the art of sailing beneath the Golden Gate Bridge on San Francisco Bay. You're watching Outside Today.